excited to talk about today's conversation focused on the 10th season of the Arizona SciTech Festival. Can't believe it was actually 10 years ago. If you can, a couple things we love to do when you first join, can you write a message into the chat just to let people know what you're most excited about? And this specific one, maybe talk about your connection with the Arizona SciTech Festival and events, or kind of a piece of history that you remember, maybe the first event that you remember going to. There are probably some people we had one that was at SkySong 11 years ago where we had a first brainstorm discussion. I know there's going to be some people that were part of that meeting too. Over the 10 years, we started with the Arizona Commerce Authority, the Arizona Technology Council, and Arizona Science Center. And so we're excited about the many signature event leads that continue to innovate, especially this year. Key collaborators and sponsors on the call with us today, we've asked them to share about their events previously held and ways they're engaging in the festival this year. I think what's most exciting is the silver lining that we now have a digital festival thread that can continue on and broaden participation in future years as we continue. So I wanted to cue another person who was really critical to us getting off the ground, really was there, if we had a day one, he was there probably -2 years before that, really thinking about festivals and how it could really progress what we could do in Arizona. And he actually is my boss. If anybody knew I had a boss, is Steve. So Dr. Steve Zylstra from the Arizona Technology Council and the Technology Council Foundation, or SciTech Institute.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone today. It's been an incredible journey. The SciTech Festival has been one of the pinnacles of the work of the foundation. I want to thank everybody who's been involved over the years. Our sponsors are critical to being able to put on the SciTech Festival. Our partners who conduct many of the events, or most of the events, schools, libraries, corporations, all kinds of different partners that make the SciTech Festival possible. I also want to take an opportunity to call out the team. The team is really, the day-to-day operations are led by Jeremy, and he's pulled together an incredible team. They work hard. They work very collaboratively with our partners and our sponsors, and without them, we could never bring you the kind of events and the kind of program that's offered by the SciTech Festival. So again, thank you all who participate in any way, shape, or form. It's great to be here today, and looking forward to the excitement for this year's festival.
The Science Center, who was also a foundational partner since day one.
Thank you, Jeremy. Yes, so the STEM community lunchtime conversations have grown in popularity and were brought about in order to keep the community connected. Today, we celebrate Jeremy and his team's efforts to collaborate with over 100 different individuals and organizations to host the first virtual Arizona SciTech Festival. During the first part of the conversations, Kelly Green, SciTech's Chief Operating Officer, will give a brief overview of the virtual platform for this year's events and engagement opportunities. Next, the signature events from past years will have a minute to highlight their event. Quick shout outs to some of you on the call who have been participating since the very first season in 2012. And then once the highlights have concluded, we will learn about 3 specific STEM opportunities this season that change their entire layout for the virtual format. We have the Arizona Science Bowl with Nicole Turner, Future Cities Regional Finals with Michael Andrews, and David Ellingson and Math Festival with Daniel Klein.
Roxanne Wingate is here from Cox Communications, and similar to ACA, Cox Communications came on board in our first season, and it was just a phenomenal partnership. We had amazing activities we did with student reporters and a show that they did, and just this partnership has been amazing over the past 10 seasons and growing collaboratively with Cox Communications. They've been our presenting sponsor since the second season and continue to be a phenomenal thought leader and partner in this. So Roxanne, if you could say a few words on behalf of Cox, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. On behalf of Cox Communications, I want to welcome you to today's community lunchtime conversation. I, like all of you, I'm looking forward to getting a preview of what this year's SciTech Festival will offer. And as Jeremy mentioned, yes, Cox is an inaugural supporter and presenting sponsor of the SciTech. And we are proud to celebrate this 10-year milestone as we continue to encourage more STEM-based education for students of all ages. And yes, although this year's SciTech Festival will look a little different since we are participating virtually, we know the festival will continue to offer rich and exciting STEM content and events. At Cox, we have always been a champion of STEM, and much like we connect our customers with their technology needs, we are proud to sponsor the SciTech Festival so we can continue to connect Arizona's youth with STEM education and awareness. So thank you all for being here today, and we hope you enjoy this year's festival.
Perfect. Thank you, Roxanne. Kelly Green, who serves as our Chief Operating Officer, has done a fabulous job just really pulling this festival together and really kind of jumping with a lot of different needs and changes over the past month even. Usually we have everything buttoned up before we even go to Thanksgiving break, and now it's total flux, and she's done an amazing job getting this built. So Kelly, please take it away to let people know what's going on.
Thanks, Jeremy. So thank you everyone for joining us today. It has truly been exciting to encourage everyone, and I mean everyone, to celebrate the 10th season of the Arizona SciTech Festival. In the effort to engage a variety of audiences, our team at SciTech Institute will go live 4 times a day, streaming directly to our website, scitechinstitute.org. Kinder to 5th grade activities will be streamed in the mornings, while middle and high school will be primarily afternoons. Family-focused activities will be streamed after 4 p.m. But on signature event Saturdays, we will be hosting online from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. each Saturday in February. Our Arizona SciTech Festival virtual how-to guide was featured in the January issue of Bear Essential News. Notice it even mentions Nova's first birthday on the cover, featured with Boomer Bear. The digital version is available for download at azscitech.com or follow the link that was just posted in the chat. Print out your own copy of the calendar provided to mark the dates and times of your top picks for this season. Then hang it up on your wall, bulletin board, or even the refrigerator so you won't miss any of your events. But don't worry, most of them will be recorded. The themed weeks were meant to reflect a journey in STEM experiences this virtual season. Week 1 focuses on getting started in STEM with Motivation Monday and Tinker Tuesday. Week 2 encourages participants to explore options in STEM with ways water impacts life in Arizona, and Field Trip Friday with virtual tours sponsored by Zovio. In week 3, be mindful and think about all the different ways STEM impacts your life. Then consider your own transformation. And in the 4th week of February, our goal is to highlight the memories over the 10 seasons of celebrating STEM in Arizona and now beyond. We will also be expressing our thanks to all of our SciTech friends. Keep in mind, we are searching our photo albums for Throwback Thursday. Join us online for special segments, including Nova's first birthday party with mascots from all around Arizona, Wild Wednesdays with Carrie from the Phoenix Zoo, and of course, our signature event Saturdays, featured 3 of them today. Kicking things off again with our ribbon cutting ceremony, virtually this year, is Connect to STEM. Caroline Berger is joining the call to share more details about January 30th. Caroline?
Thank you, Kelly. Hello, everyone. I'm Caroline Berger with the University of Arizona in Phoenix, and we are delighted to be here to celebrate Connect to STEM, which is happening Saturday, January 30th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We invite you all to join in all the fun and celebrations. We're going to have something for everyone, including a surprise visit from Nova, maybe even a little birthday celebration. You'll also have the opportunity to go behind the scenes of our Wildcat Play Hospital, see our simulation lab where mannequins come to life, special performances by the Be Kind crew that'll get you up dancing, and singing with the Arizona School for the Arts. Lots of fun in store. It's free, kicking off the SciTech Institute's 10th anniversary, and also a variety of STEM activities and exercises and projects for children and parents and teachers of all ages. So please join us for Saturday, January 30th. I will be sure to include the registration URL in the chat room, but take note, it's phoenixmed.arizona.edu. So we hope to see you all there on Saturday, January 30th at 10 a.m.
We are so excited to have Nova connect to STEM again. That's where he was introduced last year.
Yes, been a
Thank you,
year.
Caroline, for presenting today.
Thank you.
Next, we have Farm Science Day with Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve Naranjo. I'm glad to be here today. I wanted to give you a few words about Farm Science Day, which we've been doing since 2012. Since 2015, we've been doing this in partnership with the AZ SciTech Festival. Our theme is learn about agriculture and the science behind it. And we do that by engaging our visitors on site at our research center in Maricopa, Arizona, to learn about insects, to learn about plants, to learn about water, to learn about robotics and remote sensing, which is a key part of a lot of our research programs, to learn about biotechnology. And we also have a number of outside groups that come and help us, such as Arizona Mobile Ed, the Arizona Farm Bureau, the Arizona Department of Water Resources, the Arizona Department of Agriculture, Central Arizona College, CALS, ambassadors, and a number of other groups that come and help us celebrate agriculture and the science behind it. So we will be hosting a signature event on February 20th, and I hope you'll join us. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I remember chatting and you were like, what do you want us to do, Kelly? I appreciate you allowing me to share with your team some of our suggestions, and they are on board and the content is incredible. I can't wait to see the information about the 30-ton robotic watering irrigation. Right there, the remote sensor. Okay, next, we have the City of Buckeye, the airfare.
Sorry, I couldn't get unmuted. I'm Tanya Edmondson. Thank you for having us. We're the City of Buckeye Airfare. We will be hosting our event virtual this year, with our mayor being the host of the whole week. We're having Luke Air Force Base, an F-35 pilot and their crew chief speaking and talking about what Luke Air Force Base brings to the community. Buckeye Airport will be highlighted for their past, present, and the future goals of our airport. Wes Meck is going to talk about aviation programs, and aviation-themed SciTech projects will be streamed throughout the event week. Our airfare stunt pilot, the favorite one, is John Melby, and he will be doing some stunts that are recorded. Please join our team and the City of Buckeye for February 11th through the 13th.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tanya. We're excited. Our students were
We
able
are
to make a
too.
nice video too, so thank you. Next, we wanted to talk about and give a shout out to Liberty Wildlife. I thought I saw Laura on the call. Are you here, Laura?
I am. I didn't know I was going to talk though.
I just wanted to give you a shout out. Laura is willing to mentor our CSO, and we are actually going to have a virtual tour of the animal hospital and a STEM professional panel with Liberty Wildlife. So I just wanted to give you a shout out. So
Thank you.
Liberty Wildlife. Up next, we have the Science Vortex.
Hi, I'm Lori Altringer with the Science Vortex in the Verde Valley, and we are excited to be new to the festival this year. And we are going to be partnering with Sedona Public Library to offer virtual lessons on Wednesdays. And that is for locals because there are science kits for pickup that are available at the Sedona Public Library. And we also have other Science Vortex sessions that will be on Fridays with the festival, and those will be hands-on activities, and the materials will be shared in advance so that all can participate. Thanks for including us.
We're so excited to have you, and it was a fun discussion of how we can get your group involved. So thanks for jumping in quickly. All right, up next, we have the Gila Valley Health and STEAM Festival.
Thanks. Mount Graham Regional Medical Center and Eastern Arizona College have partnered for the past 6 years to bring the Gila Valley Health and STEAM Festival to southeastern Arizona. This expo has included a wide variety of hands-on activities like water conservation, chalk art, drones, trebuchet, rocks and minerals, 3D printing, virtual welding, robotics, and coding, along with traditional activities such as free blood screenings and a wide variety of vendors providing health information. And we kick off our event with the Go Gold Childhood Cancer Awareness Race.
This year, we, because of the COVID situation, we moved it back. We usually do it in February. We moved it back to April 23rd and 24th. It's a super opportunity for our little rural area because we bring out the big guns of corporations and groups to work together to bring this activity to the community. We do a lot of really fun stuff. We have a 7-meter planetarium, inflatable planetarium we bring out to the public, and we open up our 20-inch telescope with Desert Sky Gazer groups to work with, and we work with Safford Library to bring owl pellets for the youth. We really touch base with every age group throughout the community that we can. We're excited to get this going.
We're so thankful that you guys considered pushing it back because hopefully we can do stuff in person and we didn't want to lose the momentum on the 10th season. So we want to celebrate all year. So thank you so much for joining us, Phil and Paul. Up next, we have a little message from the Arizona Renaissance Festival and a special guest that we would normally include. So let me play this.
I, Leonardo da Vinci, the great Italian genius, I'm so excited to be here at the Arizona Renaissance Festival, but it's confusing for me, the great genius, because no one else is here. It's quiet. You can hear the spiders weaving their webs. It's so quiet. Where's everybody? Hey, you told me I would be... What? Next year? No, not next year. It's going to make it a whole 2 years since I saw my young geniuses. They'll be grown. Some of them will have long beards, but I cannot tolerate this. However, my sponsors, SciTech, the people who bring to you science and technology, 2 of my favorite science courses, are going to sponsor us proudly next year, where we shall convene again for the 2022 Arizona Renaissance Festival. So, until then, this is Leonardo da Vinci, the great Italian genius, signing off.
Hey, up next, we wanted to feature our STEM professional panels in partnership with Univision, and Wilman is here to talk about his role in both English and Spanish.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están todos? How's everyone doing? My name is Wilman Vergara. I'm the founder and CEO of Gnosis Health. I'm helping put together this Líderes Hispanos en la Ciencia, or Hispanic Leaders in Science event. It's going to occur every Thursday in February from 3 to 4 p.m. So feel free to join us on the Facebook Live on Univision, Univision Arizona. And so we'll be hitting about 4 topics, as you can see here. Vamos a estar hablando de 4 temas en cuestión de líderes hispanos en la ciencia, como la ciencia del COVID. Tendremos 2 epidemiólogos de Washington, D.C. y Texas, al igual que un profesor de la escuela de Roosevelt. La ciencia del deporte, en el que vamos a hablar con profesionales del deporte, al igual que la ciencia del espacio, que hasta vamos a tener un astronauta en ese aspecto. Y por último, las mujeres en tecnología y lo que están haciendo en esa industria. We're going to have the science of COVID, both in Spanish with 2 epidemiologists from DC as well as Texas, and then 1 teacher from the Roosevelt School District, the science of sport, essentially taking failed athletes like myself and turned into STEM entrepreneurs. The science of space, where we're even going to have a NASA astronaut, Jose Hernandez, speak during the series. And then lastly, women in technology and how they're making headroads and trailblazing in that aspect. So I hope you join us again every Thursday in February from 3 to 4 p.m. on Univision's Facebook Live. I hope to see everyone there. Espero verlos ahí. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, señor. That was great. Thank you, Wilman, for supporting that. So back to Jeremy. Those were the quick highlights for our 10th season going virtual for the Arizona SciTech Festival.
So thank you, Kelly, for the highlights, and everybody for joining in to kind of give a preview. And again, it's been amazing just to see how people are really being creative to what can happen with the events and how we can really shift it to virtual and hopefully bring in more participants. Before we go to the presentations, I wanted to have Brian Sherman from the Arizona Commerce Authority say a few words. As mentioned prior, they've been with us also since day one of the project and continue to be a foundational supporter of the festival and the SciTech Institute. So Brian, if you're here, can you say a few words?
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. Pleased to join. It's been a real privilege for us to work with Jeremy and team and watch how this has really grown into something that's, globally recognized. So Brian Sherman, Chief Innovation Officer at the Arizona Commerce Authority. I'm going to assume some of you don't even know who we are or know much about us. So we're the state's economic development team. Our organization is also about 10 years old. And we focus in three main areas we focus on the economic prosperity of the state. So we focus in three different ways. We work to bring new business to Arizona. So convince companies that this is the best place for them to grow. We focus a lot on existing businesses of all sizes, small, medium, and large, to help them grow those businesses that are already here. And then an area that's near and dear to my heart, where I spend a lot of time, we help new businesses get started. So in order to support that economic development mission, that requires an awful lot of infrastructure. And we really try and think of everything, all of our work in terms of innovation infrastructure. So infrastructure is everything from hard infrastructure that all of us would recognize, roads, bridges, things of that nature, telecom infrastructure, lots of digital infrastructure. One of the benefits, believe it or not, of COVID has been that we've had digital transformation is something that's really been accelerated. I'm sure everyone has experienced that somewhat. So we've had to shift a lot of our programming and services over to pure digital. But I want to talk about economic and social infrastructure, just as important. And the SciTech Festival and everything around it, all of your STEM programming is a perfect example of economic and social innovation infrastructure. And it's really, really important. It enables everything that we do. So I'm thrilled to see these previews, and we're, again, it's a privilege to be part of this again this year. And I'm super excited. I know we've all had to make adjustments, but it's taking us in new and exciting directions. So pleased and privileged to be part of it. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Talk about education economy, and it's really great to see that link about how the work that we do really impacts the workforce. And ACA has really been a supporter of that mission throughout. And I think that is one thing that distinguishes our festival, both the ACA and the Tech Council, is that connection with jobs and how STEM is really tied with that. So we appreciate that and being connected with it and being here today. Have three awesome presenters for you that are going to talk about the shifts that they made with their events and competitions and opportunities to a virtual space. I think it's a great example of kind of how this innovation is occurring. So with no further ado, I'd like to cue Nicole Turner, who's going to talk about the Arizona Science Bowl, and she works at Solugenics.
Hi, thank you, Jeremy. Thanks for everyone joining here to be able to hear a little bit more about the Science Bowl. Solugenics has been a sponsor for the last 14 years of the Arizona Science Bowl. They have been a part of all the coordinating and planning. So this year we have gone virtual. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So previously, every year up until now, we've had an in-person event. So students from all around, actually Arizona and Nevada, can participate in the Arizona Regional Science Bowl. And they would compete in head-to-head matches. They would sit across the room from a different team and be answering quick fire questions. And basically, whichever team rose to the top would be the winning team that would go on to the National Science Bowl in Washington, D.C. They would fly the students all out to Washington, D.C. to compete in person, all expense paid, hotel rooms and meals and everything like that would be in person, and really exciting for the students as far as an opportunity to get to travel and show off their STEM knowledge. So now, with this year being so different, they've had to go virtual. So the National Science Bowl office in Washington, D.C. has directed all the regional science bowls to go virtual. They've provided a lot of support. They'll be providing all the Zoom links. And instead of competing head-to-head in person, they're going to be in a Zoom room just with their own team, competing just pretty much against themselves. And then we will score each of the team's matches at the end of the event, and they will basically determine, who will be the highest scoring team will be the winner. And then they'll compete in the National Science Bowl virtually as well. So we've really had to adjust the logistics for the event. So instead of, renting out a venue and, having guest speakers in person and everyone and their families being able to join, everything is virtual from the opening and closing ceremony, all of the matches, all of the preliminary and then the elimination rounds. And then how we let those teams know that they've advanced to the elimination round and the winners of the elimination round will be virtual as well. So it's basically going to be, checking Google Documents to see who moves on and, checking the webinar to get the latest announcements, things like that. We've also had to adjust. We usually lean a lot on our volunteers. So in person, the volunteers had certain roles. This year, those roles have changed. We've replaced some roles with, official scorekeepers who will be entering the scores during the matches into a Google document that will be fed to a master document that we will be tabulating all the scores for each of the teams. We have someone who's going to be typing in the Zoom chat box live so the students can keep track of their score during the match, things like that. And because of, things just coming up with COVID this year and it being virtual, we do have a lot less volunteers. We have a lot less teams signed up. So some of these volunteer roles will be combined, though they'll be doing 2 roles at a time so that we can accommodate all the teams. And then finally, with the rules, there's a lot of things that the coaches of all of the teams need to keep in mind, and the volunteers need to know about the matches so that everyone has fair play and everyone's consistently doing them each match at the same way. We're also going to have each student have 2 cameras on them so we can know what their surroundings look like, make sure they're not cheating. We're giving them more time to answer the question in case there's audio delays. We're not having so many harsh, rules around if someone accidentally says the answer, just being on Zoom, it's going to be a little bit harder to control that. And then we're going to have virtual trainings as well, so everyone knows what to do. I want to just take the time to thank everybody for supporting this event. A lot of the students are so excited, and we're so happy to be able to still put on this great event this year. We want to continue with the event in future years, hopefully in person. But yeah, we've had to be pretty flexible this year. So, but yeah, we appreciate your time.
Thank you for giving that presentation. It was really intriguing how you've adapted to really make it work. And then also, Nicole, this is her first year in the position. She took over for Crystal, who had been doing it for many years before. And so kind of learning by fire in a different way too. So thank you for putting that together for our community. Next, I want to introduce Michael Andrews, and he's been a consistent supporter and a participant of the STEM conversation. So it's great to have him present and talk a little bit more about the future cities. And he's the Arizona Regional Coordinator, and David Ellingson is also here. And so wanted them to talk about the future cities. So thank you both for being here, and take it away.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Jeremy, for the invitation. Future City Competition is actually a national program. Arizona is one of 37 regions around the U.S., and then there are some overseas. but it's a program for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. It was started in the early 90s, actually. It was the first STEM program in the United States, in the world, before STEM was even recognized as a discipline or an activity. But it involves technical professionals representing all of the engineering disciplines. And those engineers, those technical professionals, work with teachers and student teams. They serve as mentors, judges, and within disciplines, we have a group of society-sponsored awards as well. I'd like to introduce David Ellingson. David is an engineer at Southwest Gas, and he is my co-coordinator. And by the way, we all do this as crazed volunteers. So next slide, and David, you're on.
All right, thanks, Mike. Just wanted to kind of give you guys a little background of what the Future City competition is. Student teams, basically every year they're given a real world challenge that they're going to have to solve, and then they're going to have to develop using their project management skills. They're going to create a project plan that's going to be going through it. Then they use the SimCity software to develop a computer model of what their city really is. And through that, they have to learn about the city planning side of things and what is important with resources and happiness and police, fire, and all the utilities. Then we actually try to add a little bit of an art feature to it also, and we add in a scale model, and they have to do a video that highlights their city design. This year, going virtual, that video is actually going to be a presentation and talking about their model. In the past, that has actually been almost like a speech that they give to try to entice people to come to their city and talk about what makes their city solve the problem better than any of the other cities around that we gave them that year. Then they have to write a research essay for the design challenge. And they have to make sure that during that they cover all of the engineering disciplines that were required to solve that, and how do they really use the engineering methods to come to a solution. And lastly, they give a 7-minute presentation to a team of judges. Just getting these kids some amazing presentation skills and interpersonal skills that you don't generally get at the junior high age.
The student challenges run a full spectrum of what you might expect to see in any city or state. Okay, it's everything from dealing with urban landfill or infill projects and solid waste management to transportation, communications, how you deal with senior citizens and so forth. So it is all kinds of different things that you would expect a city government to have to address.
So as you saw there, there's been multiple challenges over the last couple of years. And in the past couple of years, we've really been focusing on the sustainability of things like utilities, water, electricity, things like that. So the culmination of those is this year's design challenge is living on the moon. So the students have to determine how are they going to live on the moon? How are they going to create an infrastructure that's going to allow them to handle the radiation, the temperature changes, the lack of gravity, all those kinds of things. So the idea is they can use all the resources from past topics to push through and continue to develop and handle all those health risks and develop a true sustainable colony. Year we changed up things quite a bit. We had to go fully virtual. So the competition starts in August and generally culminates in January, with the finals occurring in February. This year, our finals have been pushed to February 27th, and they are being hosted on Zoom with partnership with SciTech. And would like to invite anybody who'd like to come check that out, please do. And the national finals will again be online in March.
Okay, so as David said, 2021 is a completely virtual event. I want to thank the SciTech Institute for being our host for the regional finals. And we still have a lot of opportunities if you would like to be a competition judge, in other words, look at all the student work, or be part of one of your engineering societies as they judge for that specific discipline. But if you've got any questions about joining us as a volunteer, please contact David. So for additional information, you can look at our website. Again, that's futurecity.org, Arizona. And my email address is m.andrews@futurecityarizona.org. and David's is at his Southwest Gas location. So again, it's david.ellingson@southwestgas.com, and we're more than happy to invite you to be part of the competition, and most certainly would love to have you volunteer to be one of our judges.
So
Thanks.
Mike, thank you both for being here. Maybe you can also put your contact information in the chat in case they didn't write it down. So next, want to cue Daniel Klein, who's the executive director for the Julia Robinson Math Festivals, and it's a really exciting competition, and also been interesting this event, and to see how they made their adaptations. So thank you, Daniel, for being here, and take it away.
Oh yeah, thank you for having us, and we're really excited to be part of the SciTech Festival. This is, I think, our first year, so lots of exciting things for the future. So I just wanted to stick on the slide for a moment, actually. Prior to COVID, the thing we did was in person, as a lot of people have been talking about. The way that a festival normally works, if you've never been to one, is we have a bunch of tables set up, usually, a dozen or more. At each table, there's a different activity or puzzle or game. As you can see from the pictures, most, if not all of our activities involve some sort of manipulatives or something where students can really get their hands dirty when they're playing with math. At each table, we have a trained facilitator to help guide students through their discovery process. And the rest of the time is really up to how the kids want to spend it. So we give kids full agency for what activities they want to play with, and for how long they want to do it for. And it's just a really joyful 2 to 4 hours of collaborative, joyful math. And kind of our two goals with this type of event is to show kids that math can be one of two things that they don't normally see in schools. One of them being that it can be collaborative; they can work together to solve and discover fun mathematical ideas, and that it can also be joyful. That math isn't just memorizing formulas and procedures, but it can be something that they can actually play with and enjoy and engage in. And since COVID, we have moved completely digital. And in order to continue to achieve our goal of inspiring the next generation of problem solvers, we've started a few digital events. And I've listed three of the biggest ones here. So our biggest digital event is our weekly webinars. Once COVID hit, we scrambled together some activities and some apps, and we started what we call our weekly webinars, where we tried to kind of replicate the festival model in a digital space. So every Sunday we release a new activity that that contains a slide of different questions, as well as a digital app to help students explore activities in the same manipulative based way they would at our festivals. And we release that on Sundays. Students get to play around with it for an entire week. And then on Saturdays, we all come together in a Zoom meeting. We break out into breakout rooms of 4 to 6 students with a trained facilitator. And it's just a really joyful hour of fun collaborative math. We found that these have been really successful and that kids get a lot of joy out of them. And so we wanted to offer other communities to be able to run their own webinars. So we also started a webinars on request program, where different communities around the world can request for us to host an event specifically for their community. We bring the facilitators, the activities. All they have to do is bring their students. And then the last event that I want to talk about is our professional development. So every week, to go along with our weekly webinars, we also have facilitator trainings. So if you're interested in helping your own students or joining our weekly webinars as a facilitator, we don't want to throw you into the deep end right away. So we have an hour-and-a-half training sessions, both in English and Spanish, where we train you on the different kind of activities that we do. If you want to get more information about any of these events, find registration links, or get access to any of our activities or resources, you can you can find all that at jrmf.org. And since I'm running out of time, I want to speed through the next couple slides. So can I get the next slide, please? So we are going to be having a signature event for the SciTech Festival on February 13th, where we're going to run one of our interactive webinars for the SciTech community. It's going to run in a similar way to how we normally do our weekly webinars, where we have different breakout rooms with trained facilitators. guiding students through some of our favorite problems. Some of the ones that you're going to see on February 13th are our pool testing activity, our gerrymandering activity, and a few others. The pool testing and gerrymandering one I wanted to highlight because those two activities relate to some real world issues. And whenever we can find ways to connect math to the real world, we always love to do that. And what we love about these activities is not only do they connect to the real world, but they also have that fun, joyful, joyful mathematical experience while also engaging with real world topics. And as always, if you come and you really enjoy yourself and you want to continue engaging with JRMF and this type of mathematics, we always encourage you to reach out to us. We'd be happy to give you all of the information you need to come to our webinars, to come to our facilitation trainings, or to set up your own webinars on request. And this is just some contact information. So these are some different links on our website that I thought was relevant. All of this you can find from just going from jrmf.org, but if you want to go to any of the specific things I was talking about, these are the specific web pages. If you want to contact JRMF about anything else, you can contact us at info@jrmf.org. And if you want to contact me personally, you can contact me at daniel.klein@jrmf.org.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here and presenting. And also maybe you can put that information in the chat.
Yeah.
So with that, wanted to hand it over to Hope to take us into some share outs and also questions. So thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you, presenters, whether you were highlighting something that's happening, one of the events that's happening earlier, or one of our 3 later presenters. We truly appreciate each and every one of you for being on today and sharing the amazing events. Like I put in the chat, I just love that everybody pivoted and understood, hey, it is virtual, but we still want to bring STEM to the community. We still want to inspire, whether it's youth or beyond, right? To be able to make sure that they're there and connecting to STEM. So thank you to each and every one of you for that. So what I would love to do right now, Beth, I wondered, do you want to share just quickly some of the things that the Arizona Science Center are doing?
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it, Hope. Just like the Science Bowl, the Arizona State Science and Engineering Fair is also going from a traditional in-person to now a virtual event. And so that event is taking place March 29th through April 3rd. And what AZCEF is, it is the all the first place winners from school, district, or regional science fairs come together and are eligible to participate in the state fair. And then at the senior division, the top winners at the senior division get the chance to go to the International Science and Engineering Fair, which is the Regeneron ICEF Fair. So if you're interested, we're always looking for judges for STEM fields. So if you are interested, please visit us at azcef@azscience.org to learn more about the fair, as well as if you're interested in either volunteering or judging, or you have students in your schools that are competing in science fairs, go to our website and learn more about the event. And then also, we also during SciTech Festival host the Sustainability Weekend that we host along with the ASU Walton Sustainability Solutions. So we will definitely be hosting that again this year and looking at how we can also, in addition to our in-person things, our virtual events as well during that weekend. Thanks, Hope.
Thank you so much, Beth. This was incredible. And I really want to thank everyone for joining us again today. It has truly been exciting to share how everyone is going to celebrate the 10th season of the Arizona SciTech virtual events, right? So again, in effort to engage a variety of audiences, our team is going to go live at least 4 times a day, stream the video content that's been provided from all of our collaborators, do shout outs on social media. So share, like, tweet, and tag us. If you're doing any of these activities, take a picture of you sitting at your computer or with your families, building those marble runs and straw towers and all of that fun stuff. We would love to see your videos and your engagement. So again, I wanted to give a huge shout out to our team at SciTech Institute for having not only the creativity bandwidth, but also the stamina to do a variety of different things and support me in the process of getting our 10th season virtually planned Don't forget to visit azscitech.com to go through the weekly schedule, print off your calendar, and start marking your dates. But don't forget, we're still adding events every single day. And if you have an idea, we would love to celebrate you as well. If you'd like to host a STEM panel of your organization, or maybe you have an activity you'd like to go live and share, provide us with an activity list. Or maybe you're a student and you want to share you're a third grader and you did something really cool during COVID. Or maybe you're 75 and you learn how to code. Tell us. We would love to celebrate everyone from 0 to 103 in our 10th season of the Arizona SciTech Festival. So again, back to Jeremy, Dr. Babinger, we wanted to shout out and say thank you for your wisdom to bringing all of these communities together. Shout out to Steve from the Arizona Technology Council, who serves as our CEO and president, as well at the SciTech Institute, for allowing us to pivot, but also be creative in this time. Again, visit azscitech.com and join us for the 10th season. Thank you.